actually done. That's just amazing. Half of what I was going to say, I was going to talk about Reese talking. Blew that, and he's got PowerPoint. No, why don't you leave that? Can we leave that on? Or why don't you put a picture of your dad?
Oh, okay.
More touching for me. So anyhow, I'm going to start kind of in the middle of what I had prepared, because we've kind of covered a whole lot of it, which I appreciate. Last week we had, wait a minute, I picture Reese at work sometimes, right? You know, the judge is there, and he's like, the court is now in session, we'll hear opening statements. And there's Reese, yes! Yes! Somebody, yes! You pick me! I think I actually lost money on these nights, but I got Jacob that was going to go on 30 minutes. So last week we had a family gathering, and it was really cool. It was kind of a informal baby shower for my daughter-in-law who's going to pop a kid anytime now. So it was kind of neat that we were all together, and we were actually celebrating what I call like a pre-birthday. The child's not even born yet, so it's kind of like a, how do you say that something that's not even born yet? It's like pre-new, it's a pre-birthday. So there we were all together, and we were celebrating this pre-birthday. I'm thinking like, man, this is really an extreme. You know, last week we were celebrating a child that's not even born, and then here we are eating Chinese food. One extreme to the next. So anyhow, Reese comes up to me and he goes, hey, my dad's birthday party's next weekend. You going to be there? And I go, well, Reese, I said, the last thing you invited me to, they didn't have any alcohol. And I had to drive home sober. And I hate living out of my safety zone. But I'm glad he invited me. And then he's like, hey, you want to say something? You might want to say something about my dad and stuff. And it's like, that was big. Right there, that was huge. I had to kind of reflect back on that a little bit, and then I really had to put some real critical thought in that. I had to think something special. So that night, I'm laying in bed, thinking, and pretty soon I dozed off because I had to work that day, and the alarm was going off. So anyhow, that morning, and I'm thinking, I had a cup of coffee and some breakfast, and I'm thinking, like, okay, shit, I gotta get to work. So I went to work, I swear, and about 2 o'clock that afternoon hit me, right? I'm thinking, because I didn't have any lunch, and I was wondering what Mary was making for dinner. And it turned out to be spaghetti. It was really good. So pretty much the whole week was like, dinner, work, and then sleep, work and sleep. So this morning I got up, right? Still thinking. I go outside, and I'm going to get the paper. And, darn it if some dogs didn't get into the garbage. And there's just garbage strewed all over the yard. And it's like, paper, plastic, tin cans, and, all of Mary's wine bottles are just all over. So that's when it hit me. I swear, that's when it hit me. I had this urgency, this feeling of urgency that somewhere I put things off, and that I didn't do what I really wanted to do. So that's when I decided that I was going to start recycling. I got to do it. No, so what I did is on the way here, this is important, on the way here I started taking notes. And that was, it all just started flowing. It was like rain pouring down on me. So I'm taking all these notes and I'm writing all this stuff down. Like all the things I remember about Jim, growing up with Reese and Chris and all this stuff. And so I had all these notes and I made a book. I had so much that I wrote this book. He has a PowerPoint, okay, but I took time to write a book. That's not. So it's not it's kind of a big book, but it's important. But it's big, a lot of pages, but it's an easy read. If you guys want to look at it later, you can. Easy read. Basically has 3 pages, because after that it just repeats itself. So, a big book like this, I had to come up with a big title. And this is important too. I got to put my glasses on to read it because I just wrote it about it. It says, this is good. Okay, this is kind of real. I had to reflect back on the whole growing up with Jim and stuff. And it says, by understanding life should honestly imitate the truth about James Farren. Okay? Well, hang on a minute. I know what you guys are all thinking. Like Mark's over there, he said, like, understanding life. And Mark's like, he's going way out on that tangent. And Dave's over there thinking, like, man, I need to go outside for a smoke. But I know that most of you guys are thinking, Eric, that title, by understanding life should honestly imitate truth about Jim Farren is nothing but bullshit. Because when you look at the acronym, that's exactly what it is. Anyhow, I want to read it. I just need to read a couple things. I'll read I actually had a review done. This book is captivating and unnecessary. Okay, so anyhow, I just want to read a couple stories to you. And I'll just turn to one of the page 2s that are in the book. Oh, actually, I got it right here. Because the stories are long, and I just condensed it. So this is on driver's ed. I remember growing up, but I think I was only like about 9 or 10 when this happened. So it was like an early education on driver's ed. And I'll just read this story to you that I wrote. It says, as Jim backed the car out of the driveway, we could hear the sound of metal being crushed by the tires. Looking out, we could see a bicycle wheel poking out from underneath. Jim exclaimed, "Who's the son of a..." Okay, that's not the story I wanted. Let me find another one. I'm sorry, that's in the book, but it's... So this is on spring cleaning. This is something we learned about during the time that Jim was cleaning out his shop. I think we were probably about 10. So it says, as Reese and I played in the sand pile, we could see the torrent of house furniture, garden tools, and other odds and ends flying through the air. Suddenly from inside, a crashing noise, to which Jim exclaimed, "Who's the son of a..." Okay, wait a minute. There's got to be something. Okay, on page 3, if you go to page 3 in the book, there's a bunch of them in it. It's called Fun at the Lake. We all remember Lake Patterson, right? We used to go down there and go swimming and fishing and stuff like that. I think Jim was there, and my dad and a bunch of guys who were putting a new deck on the old cabin there. So this is a good one here. As the last boards were put in place, the deck was almost finished. Jim lifted the 20-ounce framing hammer over his head, thinking he was going to drive the 16-penny nail the full distance with one mighty blow. His aim was off. He missed the mark. The soft thud of steel against the flesh. Okay, let's not do that. So anyhow, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna say this about as growing up. There was a hoop growing up, and I actually thought of Jim is more of a father figure than I did a brother-in-law at all. Because we were just kids, and when he'd yell at Reese and Chris, he was looking at me at the same time. So, and I think probably half of everything I knew growing up, I learned from Jim. Okay, the other half was on the school bus, which got me thinking again. It made me think that if Jim ever wanted to give back to the community, which he doesn't have to do because he's given enough. But if he took a job as a school bus driver, just think of how many kids would be better off today.
Vocabulary alone.
Huh?
Vocabulary alone.
Yeah, the vocabulary alone would be all the words in the book. But on a serious note, I got to say this seriously, that there's a compassionate side to Jim and a caring side to Jim. And that's when, and I'm going to say this for all the Hansons that are here, that he took care of our mom when she was sick. he would drive her to the hospital, drive her to make her appointments and get her meds. And then he took his time to actually drive her around in the old places that she hadn't seen before. And so I think she really enjoyed that. And we appreciate that, Jim. I appreciate that. And like I say, Mark and Kim and all this, I appreciate that. And on a more touching note, I'm going to tell you this, and hopefully I'm not going to tear up. And I don't want to tear up because I'm Norwegian. So if you look at the evolutionary scale on the book, the Norwegians, with our emotions, relate them between robots and Vulcans. But I'm trying to make this laugh. So when my mom was in the hospital, the last couple of days there, they had her. She was doing that good, and we all kind of do that. We all took turns with her and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool. And she looks at me. We were talking about family and stuff like that. She looks at me. She goes, she goes, she says, I've always thought of Jim as a son. And I'm like, I think I'm going to turn that morphine thing over. No, she said that. She said that. I've always thought of Jim as a son. He's always been like a son. And I thought, man, that's great. That's good. Because that means that he's no longer my brother-in-law. He's actually my brother. Okay? We can skip the brother-in-law. And now he's my brother. And I thought that was really cool. But then I thought, if he's my brother, that means he married my sister. Hey, that explains Reese and Chris.
It is family.
Think about that. So, Jim, you remember that when my mom turned 70, we bought her that car? Okay, well, we're not doing that. But I am gonna make a toast. So if you have something to drink, whether it's wine, whiskey, or water, I'm gonna try to get through this. It's kind of an Irish toast with a Norwegian twist. There's no accent involved. So here's to my brother Jim, who married my sister Lynn. They had 2 kids. They did. For play, he climbed mountains and bridges. For pay, he built roads and bridges. He's retired now, still having a cow. And his antics still keep us in stitches. But we're all here now with joy in our hearts. We're not faking. Because 80 years ago today, little Jimmy Farren was born naked.